thought I would show you today some of the intricacies of painting in this watercolor wax batik method that I do. One of the things that it takes is a certain amount of, a lot of precision. Because I think you can see here, like when I go into these shapes, you can see like there's that little blue area right there. That means that's the darkest level of paint. Well, I'm done painting the second to the darkest level, so now I need to wax all of these fine lines and these intricate shapes all through here so that the paint doesn't go there anymore once it's waxed, so it retains the color in whatever level of light to dark you've gotten to at that point. But you have to then be very careful that you don't get out into these other areas. And that's been the trick for me, is to figure out how really to do that without going completely cross-eyed. So what I used to do is I would take a magnifying glass and would watch my brush strokes and go into all the little spaces and crevices with my brush. What I learned was that even doing that with the magnification here, it wasn't getting me quite the precision that I wanted. So at this point, I've opted for the time-honored method of taking my glasses off, sticking my face basically almost down on the paper so that I can really see very clearly, and then going in here and going around these shapes with, in some cases, a very, very small brush. And you have to be careful, because this paper is quite absorbent. So you can't just be careless in terms of how you put the brush down, because since the paper is very absorbent, when you put the hot wax down, it will go everywhere. So you have to stay out away from your lines and then come back in more carefully and go in with these smaller, finer brushes and get around those shapes where you don't want the wax yet, so that when you paint across this, the paint will actually go into that shape as it's defined by your pen, and that becomes the definition of the shapes. So one of the things that is honestly just sometimes kind of frustrating about this process is that it does take just a lot of time. It's it requires a lot of planning ahead of time to get all of this mapped out, so you know where to put the brush when, or where to put the wax and when, as you build up the layers. And then the other thing, of course, when you do all this detail, you have to replicate it on your painting. So there's like several steps in the process that are very time consuming. What that enables you to do is protect those abstracted shapes within the painting. And then when you actually get to where you're putting the paint on, then you can kind of do that typical wash of color that watercolor is often known for. And so you get the blending of the colors as you work across the painting. That's the thing that's really neat. I like kind of the combination of the sort of traditional look of watercolor with those abstracted hard edge shapes that then give it a whole different kind of look. So at times it's kind of a love-hate relationship where it's very demanding mentally to keep track of everything, but it's also results in really unique and different and gorgeous paintings. And that's the thing that I enjoy and that I take pride in terms of doing this work. So that's the trick with this particular method with Watercolor Wax Batik. You have to be precise and planning, detailed, and then you can just sort of have at it and have fun. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it.